Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Todd, Southern Sipper, coming to you again. This is a wider angle view of what we've been calling the mugshot cam. You can see my bright little colored chair that I drug in here to do the beer reviews and whatnot. Since the weather's been so foul outside of late, and of course the days are shorter, sometimes I get home it's just dark, so I can't do them outside where I want to do them. Now, we're going to get a bit off the usual path in this review, and we're going to do a whiskey. Now, I had it's been a pretty decent number of people request, well, not necessarily request, just suggest, you should do whiskeys. Well, there's a reason I don't, and we're going to find out why right now. Of course, the big reason is I just don't have the palate for it. There's some guys and I watch them, that have far better palates than me, which is not, I'm selling them short when I say that because it doesn't take much. What are we going to do today? We're going to do Redbreast 12. Now, Redbreast is an Irish whiskey, aged 12 years. It is a favorite of mine. It has been for a long time. However, this is more of a whiskey that I drink as, seldom. More of a treat because it's a bit pricey for me. I don't have, a big whiskey budget. It's just not there. So this is not a daily sipper. Now, Redbreast 12, now this particular bottle I got for Christmas from Mrs. Sipper because apparently she likes me. Redbreast 12 is a single pot still Irish whiskey, and if you don't know what single pot still, it's just it's distilled in a copper pot by a single distiller, and it has a mix. I know Redbreast has a mix of unmalted and malted barley. It is also aged in some used bourbon barrels, which is American oak, white oak to be specific, and Spanish Oloroso barrels, which I guess are made from Spanish oak. Didn't really look, I don't really know. So there's a little bit of influence. It picks up from, being aged in both of those. Now, it's also 80 proof, so this is not a big, the thing I like about Redbreast, and if you watch enough bourbon reviews, you'll figure it out that the American whiskeys, and some of the guys that do these, and look, they're entertaining. I watch them; they're informative, and I don't mean to insult these guys or anything, but it gets a little bit off-putting that they just bash anything that's not freaking cask strength. I mean, if it's not 140 proof, well, I don't know. It just doesn't have any, doesn't work for them. Well, sometimes, something that's subtle is nice. And this is one of those. It's 80 proof. It's not going to blow the back of your head out. It's not particularly dark. I'm not going to get all wild and sit there and spin it and swirl it. And, I do have these proper Glencairns, they call them, or it's a nose and glass. I mean, I got all that stuff. I like to act like I know what the hell I'm doing, but I don't. Well, let me rephrase that. I know how to drink it. I know that part. And this is where I fail so hard. Smells nice. I mean, that's about all I can get. It smells a little bit like graham crackers, and maybe just a hint of vanilla. See, a little bit of ethanol there. See, I don't really have much else for you. That's why if you're looking for anything other than an opinion of whether it's good or bad, probably not the best channel to tune into if you're going to get your info about whiskey. Honestly, if you want to know all of the juicy little details, there's a guy. His name is Matt. Welcome to ADH Whiskey. My name is Matt. Super dude's got like this crazy palate. He's great. He's funny and all that. I tune into him. Unfortunately, he doesn't review a lot of anything I can buy. But sometimes I watch him just because I like the way he does it. He's really comical. So yeah, it's just delicious. I mean, it coats the tongue somewhat. I struggle really hard to pick up, all the subtleties that are in there. And Redbreast it's a subtle. It's not overpowering. It tastes a little bit like those little. It's a cookie. You only see them at Christmas. Come in a blue tin, like Danish shortbreads or something like that. You pick, it does taste a little bit like those. I mean, it's sweet. It's not like a bourbon that's big and oaky and, tons of vanilla and that sort of thing. This is really light and subtle and friendly. It's easy to drink. I don't recommend pouring this over something because it's so light and subtle. It probably get lost in whatever you're pouring it over, if that makes any sense. This is a kind of, and I've already mentioned, I don't drink this one a lot because in my tax bracket, this one's a little bit pricey. It runs up 65-ish. Where I am, it's between $65 and $70 a bottle. So I get one, and it lasts. It lasts a substantial period of time. If I had, more friends that came over and wanted to sit down and enjoy a pour, I'd get this out, with a friend. I think it lends itself to that. It's not so complex and I don't know, engaging that you would have to focus on it, to have a conversation with your, while you're sitting there with your friends. But it is engaging enough that even if you are by yourself and you just want to sit down and kind of halfway focus on it and enjoy a nice, relaxing time with a nice little bit of whiskey, this is a great choice for that. Man, stay tuned next week for more Watch Todd make up shit, It's just good, I'm not going to play around with it and tell you anything else. I don't, I just can't do it. There's a guy, his name's Daniel. He's on another whiskey channel that I used to watch, but I've really gotten away from watching that one. I'm not even going to remember Whiskey Tribe. Yeah, Whiskey Tribe, Daniel something or other. He was given some tips on, how to pick up different flavors and whatnot, and he made the statement that you can only identify flavors that which makes perfect sense. So here's the thing. If there's a lot of different things going on in here that are just flavors that I don't know what they are because I've not had them in something else, then how can I can't tell you what it is. So you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a few more of these, and here's because I've got a few bottles that I can do. Now here's the thing, and since this is the first one, let me just clear the air on this right now. The problem with me doing whiskey reviews is somebody's got to buy the whiskey, and it ain't going to be me. I can't afford to buy a bottle a week, you know, to review. It just can't happen. That is not in the budget. So I'm going to review what I have now. What I do have planned here in the near future, about 60 miles over to the east in Pensacola, Florida. They opened up a Total Wine and More store, and Total Wine has far better prices than we do over in here in Alabama. Alabama is a really bad ABC state. The state has they really do have a clamp on everything, and our tax structure on alcohol is enormous. So the prices are better, you know, nearly everywhere else. And Florida's are far better than they are here. So, but Total has a humongous, that thing's an enormous store. I've already been over there a couple times. And you can get, you know, minis of a lot of stuff. So, you know, might have some fun with that. They have a ton of just their own brands of whiskey. I've tried a couple of them. I can't say it was that either one of them were particularly nice. However, that would be fun for the channel. You know, if I picked up those and we just did a Total Wine and More store exclusive brand review on occasion, and see if we can trip over one we like, because generally their stuff is fairly inexpensive. You know, I'm going to tell you over and over again how nice and friendly this is. You know, this is, you know, it's being 80 proof. It doesn't blow the back of your head off. It doesn't, you know, it's not uncomfortable. It doesn't burn, all that stuff. This is just really super easy to drink. It's really approachable. I could do it, you know, within reason. You know, you need to be responsible with stuff. You know, whiskey will jump on you pretty quick, particularly if you don't really know what to expect. But I think this is probably good enough. I'm going to just wrap it up now. This is review 2 for today. I got another one coming. I'm going to do a Delta review a little bit later tonight. So, kind of might need to keep my wits about me somewhat, even though the second half of those is usually witless, for lack of a better term. But we'll go with that. I was in here watching playoffs. I just saw Detroit beat Tampa Bay. I don't really have a horse in the race, but I do just like to watch football. It was a pretty entertaining game. Anywho, enough about that. Please like and subscribe. If you look, please leave a comment. You know, good or bad. If you know, I'm happy to read them. Even if and constructive criticism would be good too, because me doing whiskey reviews is just not. It's way out of my comfort zone, and I don't have a good grasp of it anyway. So you know, if you lay it out there, just tell me how you feel about it. I'm happy to hear it. So like and subscribe, and as ever, please enjoy your adult malted beverages responsibly.